Rubén, many congratulations on your appointment. How pleased are you to get this role?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me. I think we all deserve it. As I told you, all the technical staff and the full staff of Southampton was amazing during the last week, and has been amazing for the last 10 days, working hard, working together. And for me, it's a pleasure to lead such kind of unit, such kind of good group together with the players.
What has been the reaction from the playing group? Because they really seem to have warmed to you.
Well, I took it natural. I didn't have a lot of time to spend about the announcement. I let the club with my agents to work on that, and have been focused. So literally this morning is just a couple of congratulations, and we have one mission, and we are all in for that. So no much time to take the focus away from that.
Can you talk us through the conversations that you've had this week with the ownership, leading to you getting this appointment until the end of the season today?
What I can tell you is I'm very thankful with the owners and with Martin to give me the opportunity until the end of the season, with all the support that I got in the last week and during this week from the fans. And once the club decided that I was the person to take it until the end of the season, I just continue doing my job. So it was nothing special. It was just something that continued the good work that we have been doing for the last 2 weeks.
And you're very ambitious. Are you seeing this as an opportunity to try to get the job full time?
Well, I have the job full time. It's not an opportunity. It's just what it is. It's a Premier League. It's a challenge, and it's a way to lead a great organization into a good moment, and that's how I'm gonna take it. So I'm already there. I don't need to prove anything. I just think that we have a very, very, very group inside to work, and it's my pleasure to lead. So it's nothing more to say about that.
You said the team have got one mission. How do you rate Southampton's chances of staying in the Premier League this season?
Well, I don't think in the long term. I'm just thinking about the game tomorrow and about how I make my boys to have the best chance tomorrow to perform. And if we perform well, we can have chance to win, and that is going to be our philosophy. And then in the end of the season, we will see it is enough for us to stay. But what we need is just to be proud of everything we do, and that's what we are doing.
Team news. What's the latest you can bring us?
Yes, we have Shea Adams, Tino Livramento and Juan Larios out of the squad due to injuries, so Shea is repeating on that. We have a concussion for Mislav a couple of days ago, so that is gonna Mislav Orsic, so that is gonna take him out of the squad. Of course, he's at the medical observation, following the protocols that are there to follow, and. Yeah, that's mainly it. We had Salisu back in training this week, and is not sure that he will play, but he has some options to play also tomorrow. And the rest of the squad is fit and ready to go.
And just final question for me. Good signs. Juan Larios back on the training pitch. What's the news on him? When could he potentially be back and featuring for you?
He has been training a couple of days this week for us, and soon he will be able to compete. He will need to follow some steps that. Because it's a long-term injury, and we need to be careful with a player like Juan, a young player and very young, talented player that is working really hard. We don't want to rush anything in his process, but hopefully very soon he will be able to play games.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Rubén. Many congratulations. You can now sit there and call yourself a Premier League manager, so I wonder what that means to you and your family.
Well, of course, it's a change in our life in the terms of how we live, and you cannot deny that. But we will keep. We are doing exactly the same that we have been doing, and we will keep the things as we know how to do things. So keep it simple, keep it honest, and the kids are enjoying, of course, that I'm the manager. And but nothing more than that. We just take it. We have been preparing. Not only this thing, but we have been preparing for the good things to come and for the powerful things to come. So it's not a surprise. So we just are another part in the process.
I wonder when you took your pro license, what age? 25? Was
Yeah.
this always the intention?
Of course, I have my own dreams, and my intention when I first was a kid was to play for Valencia. Of course, I didn't get the quality or the chances to play because that was my team, and then the next one was to was to arrive with them to the Champions League and win the Champions League and get the World Cup for Spain. That's been my dream. And to do that, you need to be really good coach. So I'm still trying to arrive there.
Because you've worked in various different departments in other football clubs, does that help you to delegate and trust your staff to get on with their jobs and you can focus on what you now need to do?
Yeah, I think my background helps me in to understand what is needed to every position, and that is also to understand what the people and what is the workload for them, and what can I expect from them. So yeah, absolutely yes.
And what do you make of Leeds? They've also got a new manager, another Spaniard as well. I think only just confirmed that his work permit has come through. So are you expecting any change in their style or approach?
Well, of course, Javi is a great coach with a long career in Spain, teams like Malaga, Osasuna, Valencia, also here in England with Watford. He has a little bit different style than that Jesse in Leeds, and of course, as any manager, he will try to bring his own philosophy, but taking in consideration the players that he had got for the job. So I think they will look a little bit different tomorrow than they looked before. Let's see what they prepare for us.
And just finally for me, James Ward-Prowse, he's sort of on the cusp of a couple of records. It's not just the free kicks, but also he'll equal the club record for most Premier League appearances for Southampton. I just wonder what you've seen from him and heard from him in these last few weeks, obviously since you started in the summer, but he's Southampton through and through, isn't it?
Yeah, as I said, I cannot add more value with any of my words about Ward-Prowse. I think Ward-Prowse is Southampton and Southampton is Ward-Prowse. That's how big he is. So anything I say literally will not add any value.
Thank you very much.
Is tomorrow as much about nerve and keeping you cool as much as it is about playing good football? I mean, the occasion is huge, massive, noisy crowd, 2 bomb clubs, massive game. What do you need to do to stay away from all that hype in a way and keep the players just on the game?
Well, I think it's a simple question. Let's see if we can make it simple. But I think again in life or when you work with groups, you need to know that you can just confront the chaos, and how you can confront the chaos is to be well training, to have your principles on place, to have everybody going in the same direction, and then to work as a unit, as I said last week, and that's the mantra that we use now. And if we work as a unit, helping each other, I think we will go through almost anything that it can happen. I don't know if it is about being nervous or not nervous. I think it's about how you can arrive into the game and then show the personality to play the game in your way and solve the problems in your way. I think it's about that. And when the things are under your control and it's you making the decisions, then that makes it easier.
Why do you think it's good for the club that you've been appointed so quickly after taking over for the rest of the season? What are the advantages for you as a manager now, with the players knowing you're staying, and for them?
Well, I think the main thing is that it keep everything like it's a process. So it's nothing new, nothing that we need to adapt or adjust. It's just to put some things in place, and it's the same faces every day. It's just people has more responsibility. So, and that's it. So it's more the calmness, but it's not only about me. And I want to make this point very, very clear. I'm very thankful I'm the head of this right now, but it's not about I have been appointed as a manager. It's about the technical staff and the group of persons working behind, working in the same direction. They move me into this position right now, and the players working as they have been working the last 2 weeks also, they make that position for me. So it's about all of us.
I understand why it's till the end of the season. If the club stayed up or went down, would you want to keep going?
Hell, I always say that I'm going to manage as I'm going to be here for 10 years no matter what, and I will not have any problem. But what I didn't want, and I understand also the club, I didn't want to force anything for the end of the season, whatever the result is. I think the club is big enough and the club have been giving me a lot that I need to be respectful also with that process, and then we do our job, and then when we do our job in the end of the season, let's see where we are and let's talk. But I'm working as I'm going to be here for 10 years.
And the game itself, Leeds under Jesse Marsh, very high tempo, very frenetic matches. Do you want to go there and take the game to them and be on the front foot like you did to Chelsea, where we see a very similar setup in the way you go?
Yes, of course. We have one identity, and we cannot change that identity now. What we can is to adjust the plan, expecting something from the opponent. So we will try to keep our identity, but we will prepare for what is in front of us.
Okay, move on to the section of live for 10:30 this evening. Start with you, Jacob.
Thanks, Jonathan. Hi, Rubén. Just on Adam's point, do you feel the players needed clarity on the managerial situation?
Well, I think clarity is always better for everything in life, for players or for anything else. When you have a system that is clear, when you have a system that is not chaotic, you spend less energy thinking about that. So that's the answer.
And will Dave Horsman stay with the first team now?
Absolutely.
And what does he give you from coming up from the B team?
A lot of things. First of all, he's a fantastic human being, and that's very important for us. Second, his work ethic is fantastic also for us. His football knowledge, his knowledge of the English football, his tactical understand, him and Carl as a duo, helping me in the side, helping me in the trainings, working with me together, making decisions. That's what he is, absolutely everything.
I remember Ralph said he was keen to have 18 to 20 first team players ideally in a squad. You've obviously got 30. What's your ideal number?
Well, it's for sure it's no more than 30, but yeah, less than 30. I think between 22 and 24 makes you competitive and also gives you some situations for the young teams, for the young players to arrive into the first team.
How do you manage keeping such a bloated squad happy? Is it difficult?
Until now, it's not difficult because everybody's working really, really hard, and we have been brutally honest with them in what we do, so they know where they are for this game, for this in the position of what we want to build, and what we need from them. So it's important for us that everybody knows the individual part of the mission, and all of them know, and all of them are working hard to be there. So for the moment, just keeping this brutal honesty with them, and then them being really, really, really hard workers, and so those two are the keys.
Just finally, Adam spoke about the pressure. Do you feel this is potentially a defining game in Southampton's season?
No, I don't feel. It's my second game. I cannot feel the pressure like that. So I think it's a game, again, we go into the games where we need to show our identity, and we need to give ourselves, and we need to give ourselves the chance to be the very best and to be proud of what we do. And if we do that, we will have chances to win football matches. And that's, for now, our target. Thank you.
Thanks, Jordan. Hi, Rubén. Just on Che Adams' injury, how bad is that? I know he was doing a bit of gym work this week. Is he going to be out for a long time, or is it just a short one, precautionary?
No, it's not a long one. It's not a long one. We can expect him back in 10 days' time.
Obviously, he's still a senior player in this team as well, so it's a miss not having him around, but still on the training pitches and still able to kind of motivate the players around, so he's not hidden away or anything.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Shea is a fantastic boy, and he's around as any other player in his situation. So we come with him. We try to involve the injury players as much as we can in the process. So they are part of the meetings, they are part of the unit meetings, and they are part of any other activity as we do as a first team. And that's it. We should continue with Shea or with Tino Livramento or with any other player that is injured.
And you talk about being brutally honest with players. Is Duya Saleta one of those players that you've had to be brutally honest with? Because we haven't seen much of him of late, hasn't even made any match day squads, but obviously he was an important signing coming in September. Can you shed some light on why we haven't seen as much of him recently?
I have been brutally honest with Duya as I have been with the rest of the squad. So in one-against-one talks or in a team talk, it's not a difference for me between players or between persons. What I can tell you about Duya is that he had a fantastic week of training, and I'm very proud of the way that he's working.
Brilliant. And just finally for me, go back to the draw at Leeds at St Mary's, first home game of the season for yourself as well, and for a lot of those players. And the team showed a real fight back from 2-0 down to get back into it. You spoke last week about needing to recapture that real spirit and that energy, and I think we saw a bit of that at Chelsea. How do you build on that now, and how do you make sure that the players have that spirit and that fight? Does it come naturally with the position that the club are in, or do you need to really tell them and explain how much they need to take this seriously, really?
No. Believe me, they know how much serious it is, the situation. But what we need to do is to put that situation in the place that it is. Yeah, we are in the place that we are. Yes, we are coming from a great victory against Chelsea, but that's the past. We have a job to do, and that's it. And we need to go and do the things that we know. And if we do that, we will be close to win the football match. And that's the reality. We don't need to do more or less about that. And the last thing is that we need to be proud of what we do. Because if we are proud of what we do, people will show it, and people will follow it. And then the end result will come, or occasionally will not come, but we need to do everything to arrive into that point when we perform that good that we are very close to get it. And it doesn't matter who is your opponent. And this is the key. And I think the players are all into that idea, so I don't need to explain it. They already know, they already feel in everything we do.
Brilliant. Thanks, Rubén.
Thank you.
Sure. Hi, Rubén. We spoke to James Ward-Prowse last week, and he told us that he felt the players had given you a good chance of getting a full-time job after Chelsea. You've obviously got that. It was an emotional afternoon. How do you help them capture that intensity and that emotion again?
I think it's simple. I think you need to keep the process. And tomorrow is another game, and things can happen. But what they showed me today, yesterday in the training, during the whole week, is that they have the same ambition as they had the last week, and they have been working with the same tone as they worked last week. So nothing indicates that they are not going to do it tomorrow, or we are not going to do it tomorrow. It's the better way to do it, because it's how we do it. It's all of us. It's not about players or technical stuff. That should be the thing, that we do it together. And if we are not there because we don't have the necessary tools to perform, then it's going to be my responsibility.
I wanted to ask about the B team quickly, if I may, as well. They've got a massive game tonight, top versus second in the Premier League 2. The former manager wanted to use the B team as a chance to give players match fitness. You've spoken about having 30 players and how you're going to manage them. Will the B team play a significant role in that for the rest of the season for you?
Yeah, absolutely, because as I told you, and making the reference of managing like I'm going to be here 10 years, we are also developing a system with that amount of players to be match fit. They need to play with the B team, and it's not as a suggestion. So the players that are fit to train and are not in the squad, they will play tonight, and they will play for the rest of the season unless I decide another thing, because that helps them to be match fit to step in the team in the next weekend.
Thank you, Rubén.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I have one more question? Rubén, are you superstitious? Last week you wore the suit and the polo neck and the smart and the sneakers. Are you going to go the same again? Will you have habits as a manager that make you feel better? We all have little habits before we go to work.
Well, it's not relevant, but I'm not that much superstitious.
Okay, thank you.